Hi, what's going on, Laker fans? Thank you very much for tuning in. Appreciate you guys being a part of the show. I feel like I have not done a show in a while because I feel like I actually have not done a show in a while. So it is nice to be back here. Nice to do a show. Okay, so I didn't do what's the show I didn't do? I didn't do Monday post game, and then here we are Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, nothing. We're back here on Friday, so it's been kind of a long week, even though Lakers haven't been playing. But I appreciate you guys hanging out here on a Friday night. We got a lot to get into, and I want to break down the game. Obviously, want to talk about the win for the Lakers. Spend some time talking about the standings. Warriors lost today, so Laker fans should be excited about that. That doesn't mean they move up anywhere. It just means they give themselves a little bit of cushion of that number 10 spot. Still some teams I think that are catchable, which I'll get into in just a little bit, and then we'll spend some time on the Philly game. Game tonight was not impressive. That was not an impressive game. It's kind of funny. I either hear that the Lakers never get rest or they get too much rest, but always seems to be something that we're nitpicking at. It was not an ideal game. Give Philadelphia 76ers a lot of credit, but ultimately at the end of the day, you just got to get W's, and they got a W. Again, I think if they play this way against the Indiana Pacers on Sunday, I think they'll come away with an L. So something to keep in mind for the Lakers. If you're on the channel, thank you for coming on. Whether you're watching live or you're listening later on, please subscribe to the channel. Thank you to our partner here, Underdog Fantasy, proud partner. I'll talk a little bit about my picks I got coming up in a little bit. Spurs and the Phoenix Suns. So Wembanyama versus Kevin Durant. I'll show you guys how easy it is and to put the code in to play daily fantasy sports with Underdog Fantasy. Your comments, I'll do everything I can to get to them. Let's get this post-game show started. So Lakers, final score tonight, handle business against the Philadelphia 76ers. One of the more low-scoring games. I haven't really seen a low-scoring game in a while from the Lakers. I feel like it's been a little bit since we got one of those. Low-scoring never happens with the Lakers, I feel. I feel like it's always, obviously it's always 130 to something. That's what Lakers are usually doing on a night-in, night-out basis. And that was not the case tonight, and I'm actually happy it wasn't the case tonight. I think it's kind of nice, kind of a refresher to see the Lakers put themselves in a position where you almost feel like, all right, Lakers are actually playing defense to go get a W. I'll take that. I think that's much needed. And anytime you can get a W against a squad in the NBA, in any stretch of the imagination, you go ahead and take it, but it wasn't ideal. So I think I said that, and I'll say it again. That's not an ideal game. All right, I'm back. My bad. I don't know what the heck I just did. Let me just make sure my settings are right. Got the audio. All right, I'm back. I don't know what the hell I just did. I don't know what I just did. Anyways, let's get back into it. Am I muted or am I good? Am I good? All right, I think I'm good. Just tell me if I'm good. Give me a thumbs up if everything's on and it's proper, and we could keep going here. Okay, so I think I'm good. Just want to make sure I'm good before I start getting to the game. If you guys, I don't know what I did to my page, but I clearly jacked it up one way or the other. Okay, so let's do this, and I want to just get right into the game. Listen, this is a game that I kept talking about Michael Thompson coming into the weekend or into the pregame before the weekend. They're two kind of critical games. And I know we keep saying these are must-wins. Austin Reeves had a post-game show or had an interview yesterday, the day before after Lakers practice, and basically saying, look, we got games where they're pretty much must-wins for the next 13 games or whatever it is. Now it's 12 games left. This game and the game against Indiana, once you're done with these two games, you have 11 games left. 8 of them are on the road. You're 12-20 on the road. You don't have a good schedule on the road. So I thought tonight was going to be important just for that exact reason that I'm talking about. Your margin for error is getting smaller. A lot of teams in the Western Conference, to be honest with you, are still winning. So it's not like a lot of teams are collapsing. You actually got random teams. You got very random teams in the Houston Rockets that have won 9 games in a row, or I'm sorry, 7 games in a row, 9 games out of 10. That you got teams actually potentially even sneaking up on you. So coming into the game tonight, first quarter done, it's a 1-point lead for the Lakers. You're like, all right, low scoring. I'll take a little bit of defense. That's not really ideal to only be up by 1 against Philadelphia, who's missing the 2023 MVP, and they're missing some other guys that too. What's his name? Melton, I think is the guy's. I'm drawing a blank on his. Anthony Melton, I think that's his name. They're missing a couple other players as well. So really, they're just using a lot of veterans on this team. End of the first quarter, you're only up 1. Get into halftime, and I want to say it was a tie game at halftime. So again, go into the fourth quarter, and you're only up 1. And there was a moment there for the Lakers where I think they went down 7 after Kelly Oubre hit a free throw. And in my head, I'm like, this kind of seems like one of those nights where this is just going to be a problem for the Lakers. It's not going to go as planned. They're going to put themselves in some kind of position where they would end up having to grind out a win against the Philadelphia 76ers. And who knows, maybe they don't even grind out the win. Maybe they just end up putting themselves in the spot where they end up losing the game. But then when they went down 7, there's a couple key shots that went in. I'm trying to think here. Dinwiddie hit a corner 3. And then Austin Reeves hit a 3, I want to say. Or maybe it was D'Lo. Whoever it was, there was 2 threes that kind of came consecutively. And it got the game back down to 1. And then eventually Lakers took the lead. And from that point on, not to say that it was comfortable, but the Lakers kind of tried steering the ship again. And I felt like energy-wise, Philly, no question about it, had more energy. Came into the game with a really, I call it an aggressive game plan. They were basically going to double Anthony Davis every time they got. They were going to be aggressive of going taking the ball to the hoop. They were going to be aggressive with how they were going to attack the Lakers, how they were going to guard certain players. Kind of had nothing to lose, and I think that's the way they played the game. Their record's not good without Joel Embiid. Let's see what the stat is here. I had the stat here for the pregame show. I want to pick it back up again. Without Joel Embiid, the Philadelphia 76ers. See if I could pull this stat real quick. 12-23 without Embiid. So they're not a good team. 26-8 when Embiid plays. Really good team when Embiid is there. But you could tell that they kind of walked into this game with, all right, well, we'll just give it everything we got. If we get the win, cool, we stole a win. If we don't, then, it is what it is. And all their players. I mean, I think Tyrese Maxey, I don't have to sit here and tell you guys how nice his game is. Now, not really much of a jump shooter, at least wasn't one tonight. Took him 26 shots to score 27 points. But a lot better when Joel Embiid is there. Let's just put it that way. Tobias Harris, 16 points, 13 rebounds, and he didn't shoot well. So the Lakers, I mean, defensively, they were really, really good. I just wasn't crazy about their energy. Now, got the win. A couple things to point out. AD kind of beast numbers, even with everything that happened. 23 points, 19 rebounds for him, and 4 blocked shots. That's what he should have. LeBron, kind of just another night at the office, 28 and 6. D'Lo gets a couple more threes, so he passes Nick Van Exel, got 4 threes today. He ended up with 14 points, 5 or 6 rebounds, 5 rebounds, 3 assists. I thought actually the player that I was most impressed with tonight was Spencer Dinwiddie, a player that has struggled pretty much all season long, or not all season, but since he's come to the Lakers. I thought his contributions were really, really effective. Hit a couple of threes. I thought he was really good on the defensive side of the ball. Dinwiddie just might be a much better defender than I thought, or I want to give him credit for. But damn, he's had some moments so far with the Lakers, and it has not been on offense, where I thought that's where he would have those moments. They've been primarily on the defensive side. So give Dinwiddie some credit. And overall, it was good to see Cam Reddish come back. I don't think he had that great of impact. Torian Prince didn't play today. So 101-94, the final score. Lakers end up with the W. All right, let's get to some of your guys' comments here. I want to kind of read what some of your comments are. Somebody told me that I forgot, and 100%. I 100% forgot the shadow box. 2,000% forgot the shadow box. It's funny. Sometimes when, like this one, it's like, so you coming in or what are you doing? What are you doing over there? Sometimes when the Lakers, it's a good win, an impressive win, there's certain type of energy that comes with it. Tonight was just like, guys, please don't screw this up. Don't jack this game up. Finish the damn game. They did. I mean, fourth quarter, what did they give up in the fourth quarter points-wise? Only gave up 18 points in the fourth quarter. 18. So defensively, they were starting to lock down. And all right, let's get to some of these. Sloppy win, but a win nonetheless. By the way, kind of a lot of the theme on here is exactly that. Sloppy win, but a win nonetheless. All right, let's see what else we got here. I'll take the W regardless. I'm assuming here golf must have been nice. Just glad we won. Maybe Cherry here is talking about they've been playing golf for the last couple of days. Here's another one. Good luck to your Aztecs, Leo. I appreciate that. Thank you. Close win today. UAB. Got Yale coming up on Sunday. Chance to go back to the Sweet 16. Gotta be honest. Pretty impressive. Their team is pretty good. They're not great this year, but be nice to get back there. I'll take the Lakers win no matter how we get it. I gotta be honest. I think there's a lot of people that kind of say the same thing on this one. Kind of a lot of people with the sometimes you just got to get a W, and the Lakers did that. Just got a W. Okay, what do we got here? Actually, the game was terrible. Yeah, not the most exciting. Lakers need to go on a 6-7 game winning streak. Okay, so let me get into this a little bit because I think now's the time to get into it. There's only 12 games left. Today was game 70. All right. I think the chances of the Lakers obviously making the play-in, all right, that's a very strong likelihood that that's going to happen. The chances of getting out of the play-in, to be honest with you, I just think if they're not 10th, I think they still have a pretty good chance. I feel confident that the Lakers can win 2 games in a row. Just don't be in the 10th. If you could avoid the 9th, okay, even better. Now you got obviously double elimination there. But the Warriors have not looked that impressive. They haven't. Even when they beat the Lakers, what was that, a week ago? That was without Anthony Davis for 3 quarters. Warriors just lost again today against Indiana. So they might get a little bit of help here from the Warriors or as far as some of the standings go. But let's look at the schedule because we're saying they need to go on a 6-7 game winning streak. They beat Atlanta. They beat Philly. They're not gonna go on a 6-7 game winning streak because their next few games here at or home against Indiana, I'm telling you that's going to be a tough game. If you split with Indiana, because you're going to play Indiana basically twice within 1 week. You're going to play them Sunday, and then you're going to play them a week from today. You're going to play them again. That one's on the road. If you split, you should be happy. So they got Indiana on Sunday, then at Milwaukee, at Memphis, at Indiana. So you're not going to 6-7 game winning streak. That's not going to happen. They don't need to do that, but I'll tell you what they need to do. They need to beat Indiana on Sunday, and they need to go 4-2 on their 6-game road trip. 4-2. That means if you just beat Memphis, Brooklyn, Toronto, and Washington, all those teams very beatable, you're 4-2. If that's you saying you got a loss at Milwaukee and a loss at Indiana. So it's a pretty good stretch there if they could do that, but I don't think 6-7 is coming. Let's get another one here. Turnovers, too many. Sloppy passing. Let me see how many turnovers Braun had. D'Lo must have had a couple as well. Oh my gosh. Are those real stats? Am I reading these stats correctly? You guys ready for this? Braun had 8 turnovers tonight. By the way, it makes sense. His passes were awful. And every time he tried going to the basket, they would. There's one actually, the few teams, Philly was one of the few teams I saw actually challenge LeBron. You know how Braun just kind of runs people over? There was, all right, we're going to go for the steal. You go ahead and try to bully your way. One of our quick guards is going to try to get in there and try to steal the ball. We're going to go for the steal rather than letting you just, bully us over or run us over. 8 turnovers for LeBron James. That's disgusting. That's awful. D'Angelo had 5. You can't have your 2 ball handlers, 21 turnovers total by the Lakers. Just that's the sloppy I think everybody's talking about. But you can't have the 2 people who have the ball the most combined for 13 turnovers. You play a good team or a healthy team, you're losing that game. Safe to say, right? If Joel Embiid is in this game, I don't like the Lakers' chances. Okay, let's see what else we get. We're going to go up against Houston in the play-in at this point. By the way, that's not crazy. That is not crazy. All right, let me see. I want to see the standings after this last loss because Golden State, who knows? They might be collapsing right now. They're a weird team too. They started going into a stretch where they're starting to look good, and then Steph gets hurt. Steph comes back, and then you just assume they're going to start playing well. What are their last couple of losses? Because I know they've lost a few here. Let me look at this real quick. Oh, they got it here. They lost to the Knicks. It was actually a pretty good team, but Knicks are beaten up too, and Knicks just played bully ball on them. And then they lost to Indiana earlier today. So those are the 2 teams that they lost against. But let me go back to what were we trying to – where are they now in the standings? How close is Houston to Golden State? Damn. Yeah, Houston's won 9 of 10, 7 in a row, 34 and 35. They're 2 games behind the Golden State Warriors. And the reason why this is important, it's important because, it could basically determine who the Lakers are going to play in that 9-10 matchup if that's where these 2 teams end up. Houston has the 12th toughest schedule left. Golden State has the 19th toughest schedule left. So gives you a little bit idea there. I have no idea of those 2 teams who has the tiebreaker. But I'll look at it. This isn't, it's not crazy to say. By the way, kind of interesting to see who you would actually want to play. I mean, I know it's Steph and it's the Golden State Warriors, but Houston also causes problems. Houston has the tiebreaker. Oh, no. Warriors have the tiebreaker. Yeah, so it's going to be tough for Houston to catch them. It's going to be tough for Houston to catch them. But a young team that likes to play physical, that's not exactly the best matchup for the Lakers. It usually isn't. Now, Şengün is out for the rest of the year. Let's see what else we got here. All right. I don't know what the hell happened to me. So when I was doing the live stream where I basically went away for 30 seconds there, I somehow found a way to zoom in as much as possible, and I couldn't zoom out. So all I saw were just the comments. And the comments were like this big. I didn't know what to do. I panicked, guys. All right. Everybody gave me thumbs up. Everything's good. Let's take time to remember Nick the Quick. All right, moment of silence. Nick the Quick, who used to have the all-time three-point record for the Los Angeles Lakers at 183 in a season, was passed earlier today by D'Angelo Russell. Moment of silence for Nick. Somebody that just tuned in right now has no idea what the hell we're doing. I love Nick the Quick back in the day. I loved me some Nick the Quick. Nick Van Exel was one of my favorite players growing up. You kidding me? He's one of my favorite players until, if some of you are too young to know, go watch Nick Van Exel basically hip check or body check a referee during a Lakers Nuggets game when he was mad at him at Denver. I'm like, that's not good. I forget how long he was suspended for, but best game on the night, Dinwiddie. I'm with you on that. Nice game from Dinwiddie. Really, really nice game from Dinwiddie. All right, let's get to some more of these comments here, and then a couple things I'm going to get into. That's right. Yeah, Nick Van Exel also had the 1-2-3 or 3-2-1 Cancun. That's right. That might have been Nick Van Exel's right there. I think he created that. Okay, so this is what's going on right now in the standings, and I want you guys to pay attention to something. I was trying to talk about this earlier in the pregame show as well. For those who are just tuning in, Lakers obviously over the Sixers, 101-94. Sloppy game, ugly game, too many turnovers for the Lakers. But they won. I just thought it was kind of funny listening to Darvin Ham and listening to LeBron, because there's a lot of times I hear people talk about after games, you know what? We're playing so many games. We're just tired, and we just got to get our legs under us, and we don't have time to practice and all that other stuff. And then today it was, well, we had so many days off and we practice, but the practice is not real in-game. You're not playing a real team. And we were just, sloppy because we hadn't played in a few days. So that part's kind of funny, but they got the W, and that's all you're really asking for. Right now in the standings, let's do this together, because I think the standings are a little interesting in my opinion. I'll tell you why I think they're interesting. I think right now, I don't think the Lakers are going to catch the Sacramento Kings. Kings had a bad loss. What was that, against Washington? But here's the problem. You got 12 games left. The Kings have a 3-game lead on you on the loss column. And then on top of that, they have the tiebreaker, so call it a 4-game lead. I just don't think we're catching the Kings. I also don't think we're catching the Dallas Mavericks, who's exact same position. They got a 3-game cushion on you in the loss column, and they also have the tiebreaker. But the Phoenix Suns, to me, is the most interesting team right now to keep an eye out on. The Phoenix Suns have a brutal schedule that's coming up here. If there's a way that the Lakers can get out of that number 8 spot, or I'm sorry, the number 9 spot, it's because Phoenix, who are not guaranteed to win these 2 games, you got 2 games at San Antonio, okay? Wembanyama can easily go off in one of those games, but Phoenix has been so inconsistent, okay? Look at this schedule here. 2 at San Antonio, at Denver, at OKC. They're obviously fighting. They're still fighting for seeding. At New Orleans, they're going to lose Brandon Ingram for a couple of weeks. They blew out, was it Miami earlier today? I think it was. Let me take a quick look here, but I think it was Miami. They got obviously something that they're playing for as well. I just want to make sure that it was. Yeah, they blew out Miami 111-88 on the road without Brandon Ingram. Okay, let's keep going on this with some of these other teams here. Okay. They got Cleveland. Cleveland's fighting for top 3 in the Eastern Conference. Minnesota's fighting for the number 1 seed in the West. New Orleans again. 2 against the Clippers. Sacramento, Minnesota. I think Phoenix is in real jeopardy. Listen, the only way the Lakers pass them is if, obviously it's if the Lakers handle their own business, but Phoenix is in real jeopardy of falling back. They just are. They're playing very average basketball. Couple wins here, couple losses. Games that they should be blowing out teams, they're not necessarily playing well. I saw a game on Sunday, no Giannis. They gave up 80-something in the first half to Milwaukee and ended up giving up 140 points. So they've been a very, very inconsistent team. If there's a team to catch, and again, it means the Lakers have to handle their business as well, I think it's Phoenix. Phoenix is the only team that I could see them kind of dropping back a little bit. But it means the Lakers also have to win, and that's not always guaranteed. And when they go out on the road, they're 12-20 on the road, so it's not like they've been perfect on the road. As far as the rest of the standings go, look, you got OKC, Denver still fighting, Minnesota still within a game and a half, but I think they're probably going to end up at the number 3 seed just because Karl Anthony Towns is not there. But the Denver OKC thing could be interesting. Clippers, New Orleans, I think they're a game and a half apart, and then everybody else is fighting for positioning. I just say for the Lakers, I feel good they're going to obviously be in a playing game. The question now, I feel good they're actually going to probably stay in 9 and potentially move to 8 just because I think the Warriors are a little bit all over the place. Okay. Let's get to some comments here, and then I want to preview a little bit of the Lakers-Pacers game. Man, we had for radio for 710 ESPN, we had live broadcast yesterday down in Manhattan Beach. Today was in Anaheim. Then I drove back and, obviously went to the Lakers game after that. Tomorrow we're down in Fountain Valley for the pickleball tournament. Oof, putting in some hours lately. Okay, let's see what we got here. Tracy did not like my moment of silence for Van Exel. No, he probably liked it. He just said records are made to be broken. Yep, the Lakers played with hunger tonight. Their defense is going to get better with each game as the season. I don't know if they played with hunger tonight. I think they played with let's just show up to work, and if we have to do what we have to do, then we'll do it. Dang, we could get lucky the 8th seed. That could really happen. That's not me. I don't think I'm being. They got to handle their business, but if they handle their business, then there's a shot at that. If they don't handle their business, then it doesn't mean anything. Cam Reddish screen navigation on Maxey in the 4th was impressive. That's what this team needs. Don't underestimate his value, especially against speedy guards. So I think anybody that you have clearly Darvin Ham likes playing Cam Reddish. Cam Reddish has been dealing with that ankle issue, so he's been in and out of the lineup. But they don't have any specialists right now, right, on the defensive side. They used to have specialists. They used to have Vando. Used to have him. I'm talking about Cam Reddish. They used to have players that could just they could just say, hey, focus on the defensive side. Go handle business. And they have not had that. So to have Cam come back, I think that's, obviously a luxury. You need a player like that there. Who they took. I don't think they played Rui at the end. I think they had Cam in there, so that tells you something. All right, Sliwa. If Suns go 6-6, Lakers need to go 9-3. Or if Suns go 5-7, they need to go 8-4. I just hope we hold 9 and beat the W's head-to-head. Or beat the Warriors head-to-head. That's right. We got another one against the Warriors. That one actually will determine a lot. So you're right about that. Yeah, I don't know. I if you said, hey, are Lakers going 9-3 the rest of the way? I don't think they're going to go 9-3. I think the Phoenix thing's interesting because I just haven't had confidence in the way they've been playing, and they've got a really, really, really tough schedule coming up. Nuggets, scary good right now. They are in a class of their own. Nothing else to talk about. Oh, yeah, that's right. Nick Van Exel used to get those uppercuts in. Maybe that's how that whole thing started. Used to hit some tough buckets and hit them with the uppercuts. How does nobody bring that one back? That's a great one to bring back. Okay, let's get to a little preview, and then we're gonna call it a night here. So Sunday against the Pacers, Lake fans, I'm telling you, Sunday is a very, very difficult game. If the Lakers lost on Sunday, I would not be surprised for 1 second. I would not be surprised. So the Indiana Pacers today walked into Golden State, a desperate team that's also looking for W's, and beat them by double digits. And I will kind of walk through some of their key players. But Tyrese Halliburton, I don't need to tell anybody how good of a player he is. He had 26 and 11, had 4 steals against Golden State. Remember, Pascal Siakam got traded to the Indiana Pacers. He had 25 points, 16 rebounds, and 6 assists for them. Miles Turner, nice big man, physical, will do what he needs to do, a nice defensive player. He had 14 and 10. And then they just got other dudes. Nembhard had 17 off the bench. McConley always seems to be a headache. He had 11 off the bench. Obi Toppin's a nice player. Jalen Smith's a nice player. They actually have a bench. Indiana's a tough team. That's going to be a really, really tough matchup, I think, for the Lakers. I'm just as well. You go look in those Eastern Conference standings, and they're trying to hold on to their 40 and 31. They're number 6, so they're trying to avoid being in the play-in tournament. Indiana's got a lot to play for as well, so I think this is going to be a tough game. Now, if you guys do remember that the Pacers, obviously Lakers faced them in the in-season tournament and just smashed them. It wasn't a close game. Lakers were fantastic in that in-season tournament, and maybe that's what this game is going to be. Maybe it's going to be just like that, but I would not underestimate the Indiana Pacers. I feel like there's a lot of people looking at, hey, that one's easy. I thought tonight would be easy because no Joel Embiid, but I'm not expecting this next game against the Pacers to be an easy one by any stretch of the imagination. That's a good squad out there, and they got good players, and I think it will be a tough one. I really do. So that's the one that I think we got to pay attention to is the one coming up. That one's going to be so key because if you lose that game and now you're going on the road and you're at Milwaukee and then you got at Indiana again within a couple of days, now you can go through a stretch where you lose 3 or 4. If you win this one, like I said, then try to set yourself up, win the games that you're supposed to win, and then the ones that are house money, they're house money. I mean, can you really say house money in the situation that the Lakers are in right now? Probably not, but I think you guys know what I'm talking about. Okay. Quick shout out here. Underdog Fantasy is a proud partner of the post-game show here on Hoops Talk. Let me just walk you guys real quick how easy it is to be a part of this if you're into daily fantasy sports. See this $100 deposit match. If you put $50 in, Underdog Fantasy will match that $50. They'll match you up to $100. You can put $10 in, you can put $100 in. They'll match the exact same amount when you sign up for a new account. Obviously, if you've never been on Underdog Fantasy before, sign up with some different email addresses for all I care. Just get you guys into this, Underdog Fantasy. I think you'll have a good time. It's fun to do it with a lot of different sports that are going on, especially right now with college basketball and everything. I do pick'ems right here. I do pregame as in games coming up for tomorrow. I do NBA, and I already got my selection in this San Antonio game. So they got KD 23.5 points. I'm going higher. And then we got here. Wemby, I'm going higher too. I'm going higher on both of those. I submitted in. I put $20 in. I got a chance to win 60, and I'm done. All you got to do is use that code HoopsLA. Use that code HoopsLA, and they'll match your deposit of up to $100. Okay, let's get to a couple of these comments, and then we're going to call it a night here. What do we got down here? This team is so overrated, so disappointed. I don't know if they're overrated. I think they're properly rated. I think, like I'm trying to think here. When you say they're overrated, what do most people, they're 9th. They're fighting for a play-in spot. They could potentially not make the play-in tournament. Is that overrated or is that properly rated? If you're saying overrated as in still a lot of people think, hey, watch out for the Lakers, well, you're going to have to show me to, truly believe that. That's a tough one to sell right now. What you could sell is, hey, they made it to the Western Conference Finals last year. You still got a lot of those players that are there. LeBron and Anthony Davis are healthy. That's what you can kind of sell yourself on. Gerald, wrong. Lakers will beat the Pacers and lose to the Bucks. Well, they got the Pacers twice in 1 week. So I think they got to split those games. Lakers will go 6-6 in the next 12 with AD and LeBron. We're talking Playing crazy, checking in from Brooklyn, New York. I appreciate you, Laker Nation. 6-6 in the next 12. It wouldn't shock me or surprise me. The only thing I'd be surprised about is they got such a favorable schedule. They're playing a lot of teams that are not good, even if they're on the road. You're playing Memphis, awful. Brooklyn, not a good team. Toronto, not a good team. Washington, not a good team. Memphis, again, not a good team. So you got some matchups that are very favorable. You still got Cleveland, that's going to be a tough one. You still got Indiana, that's a tough one. Milwaukee, that's a tough one. Indiana, again, that's a tough one. Golden State, Minnesota, New Orleans. So there's still some tough matchups there, but at least over this next 6-game stretch, a lot of very, very winnable games. SDSU in the house. Still trying to see what time they're playing. How does NCAA not release the times for Sunday yet? What are we doing here? Can we get some game times? No idea when they're playing. Okay, a couple more comments. We'll call it a day here. Properly rated, no way they are overrated. Yeah. Again, I'm going to go back to what I just said. Somebody saying they should have won by 30 tonight. Yeah, I guess that's just Lakers basketball. I think properly rated, this is a point that I would make about them when it comes to that. They're overrated if you're saying, hey, they're going to go on a run if they just get in. I see why people can believe that, but that's a tough one to get sold on. Can it happen? Sure, it probably can happen. Would it happen more for the Lakers? Would it happen more for the Lakers just merely because they got LeBron and Anthony Davis? Like, you could believe them getting to the Western Conference Finals before you would believe the Pelicans, let's say. Something along those lines. Or, I don't know, pick another team in the Eastern Conference, the Atlanta Hawks. They're not the same as other teams that are 9 or 10. And Pelicans probably aren't a good example. I guess, Houston or even Dallas or something like that, because the Lakers have done it. But I still think they're properly rated. Okay, Lake Show. Lakers over the Sixers. Final score tonight, 101-94. Lakers got obviously a big game coming up on Sunday. A lot of work to do. No, I will not be posting something up tomorrow. I will not have, a pod or anything like that. I've been almost pretty much weekly having somebody on over the weekend. I know Sammy's going to be posting a preview to the Lakers and the Pacers, so keep an eye out for that. We'll make sure to put that up. But I appreciate you guys hanging out. Appreciate you guys being a part of the show. 101-94, the final score. See you guys back on Sunday. Thank you, Lake fans. Hope you guys have a good rest of your night.